Daytime's gonna be nice. A lot of these scenes were a bit too dark. Sorting things out. Sorry for the wait, boss, but I managed to gather some information. Took you long enough. Yo, can I look? I think the playground thing said it was at night, so... Forensics has finished their investigation and the body's been carried away. That said, we're still closing the park to the public, at least for the time being. This place was really giving me the creeps last night, but it looks pretty normal now with the sun out. It looks kind of like a bummer still. All that surroundings. I can move. Also, apparently on the ground. I don't know which one this was, then. Mockingbird. Look at that hair. Swanelope Swoost. Yeah, park at night. I don't... And unique looking playground. Well, at least I'm finding that was... I'm glad I looked at the ground. He's been up all night gathering information. Must be nice to be young and have that kind of energy, but I'm glad to have him on my side. Gave me a chance to rest up. Oh, you took a nap? Your daughter's in danger. Also, a lot of people are in danger, but you know. It looks like we can actually move around. Well, we've got ourselves quite the mess. Strange deaths popping up all over the place. That may or may not have something to do with the curses. We also need to keep looking into Yoshimi and Najima. For now, we'd better start following up on the few leads we've got. Guess I'd better see where Euro's found out. I'm wondering if this will be a case where movement is going to determine whether or not we get a good or bad outcome if we go to the right place. We might also only get information about where to go correctly from a different path. Things at the station were pretty hectic, but I managed to get some info. Let me fill you in. Thanks, the floor is yours. Serial killer. Total of 3 mysterious deaths were confirmed in the area, including the one in the park. So let's start with that one, the young man we found here. I want to know about the other deaths. He's been identified as Shogo Okiie, 25 years old, a regular old office worker who worked around here. He died of asphyxiation due to water in the lungs. He drowned. He drowned in the middle of the park? That's not possible. It's gotta be a curse we're dealing with. About that, boss, isn't the park associated with one of those 7 mysteries too? Yeah, the Whispering Canal. I've been paying attention, even though I didn't know there were actually already 9 that we knew about. That's right, the Whispering Canal. It does seem like there'd be a link between a canal and death by drowning, don't you think? Sharp thinking, Nero. You're starting to get the hang of this. So let's assume they're related. What's next? Before that, the body of a woman was found behind a residential complex in Kamizawa. The victim has been identified as Tawako Hayashi, 29 years old. She was an office worker who lived on her own in the area. As for the cause of death, well, yes. The entirety of her body was crushed by some kind of strong external force. Is that the washing mansion? That's what it... washing mansion. No murder weapon was discovered in the area, but considering the way she was found, looking for something large, flat, and heavy that could have crushed her in one fell swoop. Hang on, are you saying she was stepped on? Meaning, I don't know if he was necessarily saying she was stepped on, Satsumi, but thanks for giving me the extra hint in case I wasn't paying attention. Exactly. Crushing is the foot washing mansion's modus operandi. The place the body was discovered is also known to be related to the 7 mysteries. Then is this Namagaki's doing? Shit, I knew he'd use it. Judging by the amount of soul dregs, the victim was just a regular person, not a curse bearer, says Satsumi, and not his voice. Guess we should report this to Paranormal Affairs. Got it, and as for the 3rd victim, I feel like we are gonna have to guess this one, because I don't think we know a lot. He was identified as Koi Jinochi, 32. I figured it would be one of the teachers, honestly. That's not surprising to me. at Komagata High. He was found in the school's courtyard. Cause of death appears to be external trauma from a fall or heavy blow. The impact crushed his arms and legs. Since he was found in the middle of courtyard, he couldn't have fallen from the gymnasium or the main building. Teacher dying at school? Not just any school. Kamagata's house is one of the 7 mysteries. So, I mean, yeah, that sounds like it would be the, Fool's Procession, so that's curious, because we left with that, right? Right, it's where the Fool's Procession is supposed to be. It's too big of a coincidence. We can't rule out the possibility that this death was also the work of a curse. Did he say that? Who said that? I don't know. I see. Either way, it seems all 2 victims can be tied to the 7 mysteries. There's probably a curse bearer at the center of it all, pulling the strings. We've got a point. All these strange deaths do point in one direction. Well, the person pulling the strings would have to be the feast, right? That's right. In Hajima's case, wasn't all that different either. It seems like it was just a heart attack, so what would that be? The drum, maybe? He also died of mysterious causes in a place connected to the 7 mysteries. Problem is that the timing doesn't match up. He died before the curses were activated. See, like, everyone's talking about it being like the curse is activating at the night. We've got the feast basically making the curses strong enough to do this, so yeah, we're good. Could he have been hit by a different curse? One that didn't have anything to do with the 7 mysteries? That's a thought, but if that were the case, we'd be dealing with a powerful practitioner. One who could pull off a curse like that without using a curse stone. There aren't many people in this day and age who could do something like that. Oh, really? I see. I don't know too much about that stuff. I'd be more surprised if he did. Let me think about it. So, what would be cardiac arrest? I don't think we have enough information to get that. Guess I better see what he's found out. Yeah, he has a lot of stuff to talk about. The read ones would be like removing arms and legs, like you get halved or something. And less of it does something different, but... Well, look at these deaths. It seems like many of the curse bearers acted last night. Well, 3 of them. Not that many. That's like a third. We can't rule out that there were more killings from which the bodies haven't been found. Oh, I'm not paying attention to who's actually saying things. Yikes, I hadn't thought of that. But there is one silver lining. Judging by my own curse stone, it seems like that the curses can't be activated while the sun's out. Oh, that's great news. So basically we're safe during the daytime? Exactly. It's also likely why Najima gave us till dusk. He must have known the curse stone couldn't be used during the day. Either way, we got till nightfall to settle this. It's time we flushed out the other curse bearers. Aye, boss, let's do this. It's gonna be hard to flush them out when they can't use their curses, because they'll just be doing normal stuff, right? Unless if they're also looking for where the other curse bearers are to strike immediately the next night. At the moment, we only know the identity of the 4 curse bearers, you included. Yutaro Namigaki had the foot washing mansion, and Hideki Arashi had the ever-burning lantern. We've got 2 of their curse stones. And then there's Najima, who claims he has the one-sided reed. Yeah, that's about sums it up. There is a chance he also doesn't actually have that one, I guess. Neat little list here. I like how it actually updates for what we, the player, knows. We'd better figure out who the remaining 5 are, quick. How should we go about looking for them? There's no point in searching blindly without a lead. Let's focus on other things for now. Tracking down Najima may lead us to the other curse bearers too. Either way, he should be our top priority. He could do some real damage if we don't get him. I also want to look a little more into Yoshimi. Got a feeling there's some connection there. Aye, boss. Sounds like we've got our work cut out for us. So I guess actually, if we're going by what they said, about it, like, if it's not a curse stone, it has to be a really strong curse person, then we, did know that the Feast of Shadows, I think, has to be done by a really strong person. Ability of the user. Strong psychic power. No curse stone necessary. They probably would have been able to just kill someone with a cardiac arrest kind of thing. So it probably isn't related to the curse stone like they said. That makes sense. Asked around Sumida's Community Safety Bureau, where Yoshimi was stationed. It seems like he was investigating the apparent suicide of a girl named Michio Shiriashi. Oh yeah, I heard about that. He was trying to determine whether it really was a suicide. Looking into the height of the building, the force of the impact, her wounds, all that. I guess that's a good point too. If that was a suspicious situation when it happened, the curse stones weren't in play either. Which would mean too that the teacher, what's his face, starts with a J, could have been killed by the Feast of Shadows person as well. He must have suspected some kind of foul play, because he ordered a full investigation. It's already been deemed a suicide, and his superiors told him not to go stirring things up. Huh, what was the evidence? Well, according to the report I found on his desk last night, the body was found at the foot of a building, a ways away from the road. There was no evidence of vehicular collision, so it was ruled a suicide, but he thought there was more to it? Yes, a truck or other flat-faced vehicle traveling at high speeds could have inflicted similar damage. In other words, sometimes a traffic accident can look an awful lot like a fall. Is that true? I almost feel like the point of impact would be able to be determined on that. I guess I can see it, like, you know, your body gets fucking mangled. Of course it's gonna be hard to tell. So there's a chance that it wasn't a suicide. I guess also, though, clearly, if you're gonna try to say it's not a suicide, you'd go for a more logical approach and not magic. When you're like a normal person that doesn't believe in that stuff. But what a terrible way to go. There were no brake marks on the road, meaning it would have been a hit and run. Could have still been a hit and run if they braked, right? I feel like you would, like, if you hit someone, you would brake instinctively and then, like, be like, oh, I'm gonna get out of here. The vehicle would have hit her without slowing down at all. This is turning into quite the grisly case, which makes me think that if there were no brakes and it was a car, that it was someone deliberately trying to run her over. But, whatever. I also feel like a vehicle is a bit of a weird way for that to go, so I'm not really believing it. The vehicle couldn't have come out from a collision like that unscathed. Exactly, so I asked the traffic bureau to keep an eye out for any vehicle with frontal damage and blood and guts and shit on the front of it. But I haven't heard back from them yet. I don't think they're looking very hard. So we've got no proof. That said, if it was a traffic accident rather than a suicide, it's possible that someone silenced Yoshimi because he was on the verge of discovering the truth. That's true, but it's also a way that you can't just do as a normal person. You think the driver is the one who did him in? Not quite. Yoshimi had already talked to the forensics and the traffic bureau, right? His death wouldn't have covered things up. You're right on that. Even if the suicide was a cover-up for a hit and run, it doesn't seem like enough reason to kill a cop. Oh, that's right. Unrelated, but I got something else too. You know those Mockingbird stickers you were into? I managed to get hold of Michio Shiriashi's address. Managed to get hold of it. Is it really that hard to do that? Yoshimi went there a bunch over the course of his investigation. It might be a good idea for us to drop by too. Good thinking. Hopefully that'll give us some more leads. Alright, let's move on to the next topic. That's good though because of the relationship of that with like everything else. Also, you know, with what's happening, this kind of makes it seem like Najima absolutely killed Haru's son, but that might be a red herring still. Who knows? Remember the girl Yoshimi met with the day he died? One Hitomi Okuda? Community safety didn't have any contact information for her on hand. Not even an address? Well, they had her parents' information, but when I called, they said they hadn't heard from her in a month. Lots of family issues from the sound of it. They even said they didn't want anything to do with her anymore. That said, she's still going to school once in a while, so we might be able to find her there. Not sure we really have the time for a stakeout right now. But she could be a key witness. Can't we have community safety track her down for us? We can ask, but it might be tricky to get it done today. For starters, Komagata High School is closed today. Because of the teacher that died? No, it's a holiday. That's right. Alright, but if it's not something we can do today, we may have to forget about it. Let's move on then. More? I got some information about Yoshimi's fiancé from Community Safety. Her name is Mayu Chozawa? Why is her name not highlighted? Is she just that unimportant? 27 years old. She works as a beautician in the area. Hey, there's that number 27. It's like that, the Jim Carrey, 21, but not that. Not that at all. A beautician. Look, I even managed to get a picture of her. She sure is a beauty. I want to see. But, oh boy, here it comes. But what? Community Safety hasn't been able to contact her since Yoshimi died. Not by phone or at her house. In other words, no response. Dead silence. There it is. Can't things just be easy for once? She is a beaut. I'm surprised I didn't, pull up this picture for that. Or highlight her name. Beautician and the fiancé of Hajime Yoshimi, a police officer with the Sumida Police Department. Mayu's current whereabouts remain unknown. Curse Echo? Question mark? It's definitely starting to look suspect. A crime of passion, perhaps? It is fairly common for people to be killed by a lover or a spouse. But Yoshimi was well-liked, and they'd been together for over 10 years. You never know. Things could be different behind closed doors. Also, now we know who actually his fiancé was, so... I guess so. We'll have to consider the opposite scenario, too. It could be that the same person who was out for Yoshimi is after his fiancé as well. She could be in danger. You're right. Either way, she's important to the case. HQ already has people looking for her. We'll know as soon as she's found. HQ has mobilized a search unit for Najima. But so far, we haven't received any word. I'm gonna put this out there right now, which I would hope. He was in prison. He was out on parole. They absolutely should have a picture of what he currently looks like. Which is, we should technically be able to know who we're looking for. Guessing he wasn't at home or at work. About that, apparently he vacated his last known address a week ago. Wouldn't that be... I don't know how that parole thing works. Don't they have checkups? You serious? So we have no idea where he lives? It gets worse. I checked in with the factory he was working at. They told me he was only there for a month before he quit. Actively... Oh, for a month before he quit. Hold on a second. You're telling me nobody caught that? Yeah. Well, I had the same thought, so I spoke to his probation officer. Turns out he'd been doing house visits and interviews, but never bothered checking on his workplace. He also said he'd lost track of Najima when he moved to a new place. Jeez, that's just sloppy. It is sloppy. Not only that, but, the point of having that, parole officer, wouldn't that be oh, I lost track of him, we need to catch him. He is actively, look for now. That's, going against what gave you parole, right? I've heard that they're giving parole to just about anyone these days because they're running out of room in the prisons. Which also means there aren't enough probation officers to go around. Dude's probably overworked. Don't give excuses. So Najima got to fuck about unsupervised. God damn it! That asshole is annoyingly good at faking remorse. Or insanity. whatever the situation calls for. Back when I arrested him all those years ago, just talking to him left a bad taste in my mouth. I guess that's true. If he was able to play nice for 20 years so he could get out of jail, obviously he would have been like, oh, I'm so regretful. I don't know why I killed those people. It just kind of happened. My hand slipped. He's probably hiding under a false name, which will make it hard to track him down. That explained why he so brazenly made contact. That asshole, he's mocking us, and not like those mockingbirds I like to collect either. Well, for now, the paperwork to circulate his name and mugshot is being filed. That's gonna take way too long. We only have until dusk. Is that why we don't know what his mugshot's gonna look like? Because, like, it needs to come to us and it's gonna take too long for it to circulate? Like, I know it's, like, the 80s, so I don't know how much more difficult it is for that stuff to get through, but I'm just saying, I feel like there's no reason for this to be, like, a mystery of what he looks like. Speaking of Najima... Yeah? Did you manage to reach your daughter? It'd be best to put her into protective custody as soon as possible. Not yet. I can't reach her. They called, but she's not picking up. Wasn't home when they went to the house either. That's not good. Does that mean she never came home? Why weren't you the one trying to reach her? Shut up. I don't have her contact info, alright? Damn, she really doesn't trust you, huh? Either way, I told her mother that it was an emergency and that we'd send an officer to find her and get her to safety. She was real reluctant, but I got her to agree. I guess that explains why you got divorced. Does it? But if you, her former father, can't find her, how the hell did Najima do it? Former, eh? That cuts deep. Yikes, sorry, it just kinda slipped out. It's also a weird phrase. Anyway, I suspect it has something to do with his curse echo. Back on topic already, huh? He said his curse could kill a lot of people in a short time. It may even allow him to act from a distance. I see. The one-sided read. What was that story about again? Something about a man stalking a woman who goes insane and chops her up. Ah, right. One of the more gruesome of the Seven Mysteries. I guess, too, that mystery does kind of correlate a bit with the Najima murders in itself, because he chops him up and, like, puts him in the river, right? And his stalkery. So maybe because it just, they gel together, it's, like, stronger. That, like, murder tendency thing. But also the fact, too, that it's one of the mysteries that straight up is gruesome. Like, there's no sugarcoating it. Like, oh, the tree's just an evergreen tree. That's all it is. I'm sure we already have the spots we can transfer to, but we want to exhaust this dialogue. As for Najima's whereabouts, all we can do is throw more people at it till we find something. I'll check in with HQ frequently to see if they've got any updates. And that's about it. What is this jazzy music? Shall we continue our investigation? We could go to Kanamagata High School to look into Hitomi Okuda, or to Michio Shirayashi's house to find out more about her. So like this point right now is kind of where I'm thinking it might be important what order we do. There's a lot we need to do, but not a lot we can do. This ain't looking good. We're gonna run out of time if we don't do something. Gotta keep moving. I am glad that it is a new chapter that we go into, though. Fancy sushi! Life can be tough. A lot happened here. So... I might start going back and forth. I wanted to, like, follow up on this a little bit more, but I'm curious about this stuff. And I didn't even see what it was called. Tomi's Help. Getting more information on him is going to be super important. It looks like we're talking to... What's her name? I actually want to probe this a lot more, actually. Yeah, okay, that's just a summary. It's always just a summary. I don't know why I tried to read that to myself. We'll just cycle through what we can. It'll be fun. I should have done this in the first place, but... So, at least Mio's fine, though. Oh, good morning, Yako. Huh? Yako, rise and shine. Huh? You're up. Huh? It's morning? Were you sleeping standing up? Are you okay? Can you remember your name? I'm... The Spectre of the Spirit Board. Yes, I am the Spectre of the Spirit Board. No, don't fall back asleep. You must still be dreaming. Wake up! Yes, I'm Yako Sakazaki. It was just a joke. Good. Well, I guess that's what happens when you answer incorrectly. I like how it still gave me, like, a correct jingle. Oh, Mio, thanks for last night. Was everything okay? Yeah, can you explain how you were, like, fighting a spirit? Yep, still alive. Thankfully, you didn't send the janitor to see me, or else things would have been bad. I couldn't dispel the cursed echo or learn the identity of who used it, but I managed to at least get away. But, in that situation, it's the best you can hope for. I'm sorry I got you involved in something so dangerous. I meant to look for you as soon as the sun rose, but I was just so sleepy. How can you be so sleepy during, like, all of that? I can't even remember when I fell asleep. That seems suspicious. It's okay, it's only natural to be exhausted after what you went through. Besides, I also feel bad that you've been wrapped up in all of this. It's supposed to be my job to prevent that from happening. Oh yeah, you said something about that last night. Just who are you exactly, Mio? Yeah, I guess you didn't know that she was like a psychic cop. Oh, well, the truth is, I've been training in things having to do with the supernatural. Huh? You mean you can learn that kind of stuff like you would with flower arranging? I had quite the eventful childhood. Huh, that sounds like it must have been tough. Yes, it would take a long time to explain, so let's leave it at that for now. As fate would have it, I've ended up as the apprentice, or maybe more like assistant, to a notable paranormal expert. Schools have always had more paranormal disturbances because young people tend to be more susceptible to these things. I'm sent to schools that may experience something paranormal and put a stop to it before it happens. Wow, that's amazing! So it's like a part-time job you do while also being a student? Well, I do help maintain public order, but it's all part of my training so I don't get any money. Oh, you've got it rough then. But still, that really is amazing. I can't believe they're cheapskates like that. You really need money, Mio. You deserve to be paid. You were so cool when you faced off against the evil spirit. I never know if I should be happy when you compliment me like that. But anyways, that's why it's up to me to resolve any paranormal issues at the school. I think Mio looked cool. I wanted to see like a proper battle. And why I'm going to look into the cause of all of this. But for now, let's head to school. Yeah. Oh, do you have your curse stone? Now that it's daytime and its power is diminished, I should be able to hold on to it. Want to give it a try? Right, I do have it, but... Yako. Is it really so wrong trying to bring Michio back, I mean? Yes! I can't approve of it. The rite may seem like a dream come true, but if it involves taking the lives of other people, then... Yeah, true. I want to make sure this whole ritual ends without anyone getting hurt, you know, except for the 3 people that are dead already. That's what I believe, and what I'll put before anything else. I'm sorry, but is it okay if I hold on to it? I feel like the answer should be no. Yako. I promise I won't use the curse, no matter what, but maybe there's some other way. I just have this feeling that I shouldn't give up on the possibility just yet. That said, I'll help you, even if it's to stop the curses. For the Michio that still exists within me, I'll settle things so that we can move forward. Okay, but if you ever feel in danger, you can give me the cursed stone at any point. Right, thank you, Mio. Okay then, let's go. File update. If we're hanging out in the street, there should be something like on the top floor of a building, right? An old-fashioned candy shop located on the street corner in Honjo. It has been in Yako Sakazaki's family for 3 generations. On the weekends, you can spot Yako watching over the store, cooking manjiaki and playing traditional tops and cards games with local children. Though traditional candy shops are known for selling cheap treats for kids, it is not uncommon to see these largely privately owned businesses becoming something more like general stores, selling food, drinks, utensils, and other daily necessities. Many families operate candy shops on the dirt ground floor of their home, known as a doma, with a space in the back where customers can eat manjiaki as well as arcade games and capsule toy machines in the front. Such facilities make them attractive places for children to gather and play. However, the harsh reality is that traditional candy shops, which thrived during the period of high economic growth when many confectionery manufacturers entered the market, are experiencing a steady decline due to the rise of convenience stores and changes in children's interests and tastes. I'll be honest, though, like, what was it? What did it say? Doma? The Doma candy shop always seemed like a cool thing. I wish I had a local Doma candy shop. Would have been sick. We are going straight to the school, it seems like. Front gate, but there should be a sticker at the front gate. Huh? I thought it unusually noisy. There's a big group of people and police in front of the school. Did something happen? If the police are here, then something must have. Mio, what did you do? I'll go ask. Thanks. I love Mio's like flat mouth face. That one. I think it gets bigger sometimes. I think she has a flatter mouth. The hidden flatter Mio mouth. This isn't good. Huh? What happened? Don't panic, okay? The first teacher who came to work this morning found something. Okay. Mr. Jonichi was found dead in the middle of the school grounds. What? They're closing the school for today. Just today, though. You have to go in tomorrow. Well, that's not all. I didn't know this either since I didn't watch the morning news, but rumors are spreading that a number of bodies were found nearby. What? There's no way. Why? Could it be because of the curse? We don't know enough to say. From what I heard, Mr. Jonichi's body was in the middle of the grounds. But his body was covered in bruises, like he'd fallen from somewhere high. Weird. Taking into account his unnatural death and the timing, it's very likely it has something to do with the curse. So, Yako was, like, extremely sleepy and, like, out of it when after she came from the candy store. Do you think, in some fashion she was controlled by something to make her kill him? You're saying someone used their curse on him last night? Seems like it, doesn't it? But that's so scary. Yeesh, so the curses really do kill people. And someone used it, and it wasn't me. Shh, keep your voice down, okay? What would happen if another curse bearer heard you? Well, I don't think they can use it right now. Eep, sorry. I know that guy. What even updated with him? The fact that he's deceased? Because we did have his thing before. I'm skimming it right now. His deceased body was discovered at dawn. I don't think this bottom information would have updated. I think it's just that it was. I like that Cursed Echo is still questions. I think it was just that it updated for the sake of it being that he's dead. I wish we had a little more information, but they've locked up the front gate. Maybe we could sneak in through the back entrance? Look, that person, it's not a silhouette. That person over there. Isn't that Hitomi Okuda? You're right, that's unusual. Oh, but she was at the school last night, too. She must know something about Mr. Junichi. Let's see what she has to say. Wait, let me look at the gate. Oh, Mio, wait for me. Damn, I couldn't look at the gate. Huh? You're telling me the two of you were the ones at the school last night? No sense hiding it, then. Plus, I owe you one, Mio. I'll tell you everything I know. Thank you. She owes you? Oh, yeah, right after I transferred here, there was a bit of trouble. Was it related to why you showed up here for the first time for paranormal activities? She gave me one of those, what was it? Oh, exorcisms. Huh? So that's what it was. I'm curious about the exorcism, honestly. Hey, Tomi, were you possessed by some kind of evil spirit? I don't understand it all too well myself, but I can say for sure is... Thanks to Mio, the weird symptoms that were happening to me all went away. Yep, some people are born with a natural sensitivity to the paranormal. They tend to end up isolated as they struggle to relate to the people around them. They also tend to draw spirits to them naturally. This can cause strange symptoms they don't understand, like headaches, muscle stiffness, and hallucinations, even memory problems. I'm sure it must have been very hard. So that's how it works, huh? Do people also have their personality taken over when possessed too? It is possible with spirits who have a very close relationship to their target, like siblings or a parent and child. So, we're talking about possession right now, which makes me almost more believing that Yoko could have been possessed. But also, is there a way we could see that if there's soul dregs in her curse item? Not really, unless if they bring it up, right? I guess that would be the one thing that we could use to prove if something happened related to Yoko. We almost never hear about people being taken over completely. It's when the two parties aren't in sync that those negative effects can start to appear. So the seance or whatever you see on TV are all bogus? Not quite. There are mediums and diviners who can align their minds with the spirits they call. Though there are people on TV who are just putting on a performance. Huh. There are people who in life had extremely powerful spirit sense or a deep connection with the person. But even they shouldn't be able to completely take over the person they possess. And even if they could, it'd only be enough to pressure them to choose certain behaviors that wouldn't be unusual for them to do on their own to begin with. Well, so that also kind of explains the, I feel like in a way explains the curse stone as well. Like, kind of pushing for, like, kill, kill, kill. If the person has a better conviction to not go killing, then they won't. But, like, you know, if someone that maybe went on a killing spree 20-something years ago to get a cursed stone, they probably would go into, like, hyperdrive. And like I said, too, I talked about how, like, in sync their personalities would have to be, right? That basically correlates to that. It'd only be enough pressure to choose certain behaviors that wouldn't be unusual for them. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of was on the money on that one. But if that's the case, wouldn't you not know if you were choosing that behavior of your own will or... Wouldn't you not know if you were choosing that behavior of your own will or not? I guess this also might explain us as the player, since we do know that actively I am somehow a force in this story. Hence why there are lots of cases where people don't even realize they're possessed. I liked how that means Shogo had, like, the, inclination to throw the lighter. Like, he just kind of felt like it. Though the spirit may influence the behavior and memories of the host. The deeper their connection in life, the easier it is for that to occur. I see, getting possessed by a spirit is pretty complicated, huh? It must have been tough for you being possessed for so long, Hitomi. Whatever might happen to me doesn't make any difference. Me being able to see spirits and stuff has nothing to do with how things ended up like this. Yeah, it's not like being able to see them is your fault either. The same goes for me. Maybe it's just something we have to live with. I think you have a knack for it yourself, Yoko. I bet you could see them too with a little training. I think I may pass. Just keep talking about that exorcism. What's the music doing right now? So that's why you do the job you do, huh, Mio? Tomi looks like she's really mad at Mio for some reason with that, like, scene. I thought she was a weirdo when she showed up all of a sudden saying she was gonna exorcise me. I'm like, what? I don't need to exercise. I'm strong enough. If you hadn't said anything, I probably would have knocked your lights out. You tried to perform an exorcism on her without telling her anything? You see, in my experience, most people don't understand no matter how much I explain. They only accept my explanation after they see the results. Huh, I guess that makes sense. Did you hear about Mr. Junichi? Heard about it. I've known about it since last night. I saw that asshole bite it on the school grounds myself. What? You saw it happen? Tell us about it. What happened exactly? Don't really know myself. It was pitch black. What I can tell you... It was almost dawn, probably around 3. He started freaking out all of a sudden. Ran out onto the ground like something was chasing him, then screamed. Oh, somebody help me! Forgive me, Michio! Now, this is my question. Because we don't really know, I guess, enough about Yako's personal life. If it was someone that's closely related to her that would be able to possess her, it would have to be like Michio, right? That would be my guess. Which also would make sense if that's what happens, because then that would be why this guy's freaking out about it and saying that she was going to come after him even though she was dead. Or something like that while he was running around. Michio? He mentioned Michio? Was there anyone else out on the grounds? And if it was Yoko, you wouldn't see her because she doesn't need to be seen. It was too dark to see from where I was. But for just a second, I think I saw a girl in a school uniform with her hair in braids. Guess who has their hair in braids? Why am I going to their thing? I guess that's not really braids. But braids would be Michio. So did she decide to do her hair up? So this is the thing too. Yako went specifically to kill Joichi. Jonoichi. Theoretically, I feel like Hitomi would mention that she hears music, but she would have been caught up in the curse, unless if she was like out of the radius of it. But she would have theoretically been caught in the curse, except for the fact that she saw a high school girl. If I'm right, I could still be just full of shit. But for just a second, I think I saw a girl in a school uniform with her hair in braids. Ponytail is not braids, but it could be something. Oh? I didn't go out to make sure, so it could have been nothing for all I know. Then I heard him begging for his life like, I was wrong and I'll do anything. Then all of a sudden his arms and legs snapped, even though he was just standing there. His arms and legs broke without anything being done to him? He fell over and quit moving, so I thought I'd better go out, get out of there. Sorry. I thought she was going to say go over there and check it out. Then he croaked, that's all I saw. I see, you're awfully calm about this. But from what you've told us, it almost sounds like Michio's ghost chased down Mr. Junichi and killed him. Well, if I know anything about that, I'm just telling you what I heard him say. Yeah, I kind of want to get real into the nitty-gritty of what you guys were talking about, I'm going to be honest. You told me last night before you witnessed Mr. Junichi collapse. Can I ask what he and you were doing in the classroom? Oh, she don't like that. She's mad. You gotta tell the cops. Oh, right. With everything that happened with Mr. Junichi, he'll suspect you if we told him we saw you with him that night. Anytime something happens with someone like me, all those shitty adults start jumping to conclusions. I understand. I won't tell them. You wouldn't have been able to kill him anyway. If you say so, then I don't mind telling you about it. Till last night. Whoa! That piece of shit Junichi called me over here, acting like he was gonna attack me or something. What? How terrible. Whatever, I'm glad he's dead. He had it coming. Calling people worthless and a cancer on society when he doesn't know shit about them. That asshole was the one always acting like scum if you ask me. Is that so? Could you tell us in more detail why he called you out in the middle of the night? It's hard to explain where to start. The misdeeds. What did you mean by Mr. Junichi's acting like scum? Was he doing something bad? You know Michio Shiriashi, right? The girl who killed herself? Yeah, we're kind of already talking about her. Huh? Michio? I don't know everything, but that creep of a teacher had some dirt on her. He was using it to blackmail her. Call her up after school and make her do whatever he wanted. What? What do you mean when you say whatever you wanted? I'll leave it to your imagination. Nothing that a couple of model students like you would ever get involved in. I'm gonna be honest, it's not great to hear, but I think we really need to know exactly what it was. Yeah. No way, that's... How? What do you mean by dirt? I don't know anything about this. How can I not know anything about this? Yako, I know how you feel, but try to calm down. You got guts acting like you were her friend. Jonoichi really did a number on both Michio's body and soul. Fuck. I guess. She probably felt she couldn't tell anyone, like she had to suffer alone. No, how terrible. Hitomi, how do you know about this? I just happened to walk in on it. I know this spot around school people go to when they want to stay out of sight. He ran off in a panic when I yelled at him asking what he was doing. Walked in on it. I couldn't just leave her alone looking like she was about to cry, so I stuck around for a bit. She told me everything that happened in whispers. She probably figured I wasn't the type to spread that stuff around. But she never asked for my help. She told me that she was fine and to keep it a secret. Michio, why? She probably thought she just had to grit her teeth till it was through. She was naive. I tried to tell her that if you give guys like that an inch, they'll take a mile. She kept saying about how it was her punishment. She was soft. No. Of course, Jonichi didn't change. He kept on doing what he was doing. I don't understand either of them, but that's as much as I was involved. And then she killed herself. Nothing I can do about it now. Tell me, if you knew about it, then why didn't you... You're trying to say it's my fault? She told me not to say anything. She told me she was fine. So what the hell more responsibility do I have other than what I already did? Yako, there's no point blaming Hitomi. Michio, why? I mean, this is the only thing that I'm thinking of is... In any other situation, yeah, you would assume it is the worst case of a teacher and a student being in like a little secret spot there of how Michio was. But I kind of need to know if, like, the extent of what was actually seen. Because I feel like it probably wasn't that. There was probably more to it. But I could be off on that. The dirt on Michio. Did you hear what this dirt was? Nope, never heard what it was. But from the sound of it, he'd been blackmailing her since about a year ago. For that long? The dick probably caught her doing something she shouldn't have been. She looked well behaved, but there's more to a person than meets the eye, you know? There must be some reason. No, got nothing to do with me. It's hard to explain where to start. Yeah, I went on a bit of a non sequitur. Oh, it's hard to explain where to start. I guess the death. Did you tell that story to the police? Nope, and I ain't gonna. Can't count on them for shit. Also, it was like a weird circumstance. Of course you wouldn't tell the police. Not like they'd believe such an insane story anyways. Right. But there must be at least one person in the police worth trusting, right? There was, but he's long gone. Yeah, I guess. There was this one cop who always got on my case about stuff. He died just the other day. Oh, he did? I'm sorry to hear that. Everyone who gets involved with me ends up dead. Maybe I really am cursed. Pisses me off. No, I exorcised that. You're good, girl. You got it all wrong. The spirit that possessed you wasn't that kind of spirit. Huh? It wasn't. Yeah, this was just an unfortunate coincidence. Aw, flat face. Flat face is rude. Flat mouth. Flat face, like, sounds like I'm saying, like, shit. Like, I don't know. It sounds mean. I'm just talking about the mouth look. I think it's funny. Though I'm sure that was hard enough for you. That's all I know about that asshole's death. Hey, Mio, I've been thinking something. The way she described it reminded me of something. The way Mr. Junichi died sounds a lot like how Michio died. Oh! Of course, I didn't see it myself, but the state of Michio's body was in, it was like she had fallen from high up. Could they have been killed by the same curse? I don't think so. The curses of the Seven Mysteries hadn't manifested when she died. And if we can trust that what the spirit board said, then Michio died in an accident. Yeah, okay, I guess we still need to take into account what an accident means. Yeah, what the fuck would an accident mean? Like, what would constitute as an accident? Would a car accident be an accident? If the car part is correct? Oh, right. I'm surprised they haven't brought up the fact that the cursed stone that Yoko has would do something like this. What you described does sound like Michio killed Mr. Junichi. She did have a reason to hate him after all. No way, you mean that really was her ghost? Like for real? Those who die bearing strong resentment or regret can occasionally become spirits, either bound to a place or roaming freely. However, it'd usually be impossible for them to kill the living. Most don't have that kind of power. But it's possible they could possess someone close to them to act on those lingering regrets. I mean, everything's really sounding like my theory is correct. And that might just be a bias for me. Huh, wonder if that's what happened. Alright, then supposing what the spirit board said is true and Michio's death was an accident, then she must have had some regrets. If she really hadn't given up on living, that is. I feel like even if you do give up on living, you might still have regrets, but I don't know. I don't think she was the kind of girl who would just give up no matter what the situation. Yeah, but clearly you don't know enough about her, Yoko. We just described that. I don't really know, but she didn't seem like she had something tormenting her so much that she'd kill herself. I'm sorry, but aren't most, like, suicide cases kind of like that? In a way? Like, I didn't really think they would ever do that. So last night, how did it start? Ah, right. Remember that nosy cop I mentioned who was always on my case? He died at the former Yasuda Gardens a couple days ago. Yoshimi was his name. He was part of the juvenile division. He didn't look like a cop at all. Real rough guy, but good at looking out for folks. So he was the only one I could talk to. Huh, so there was someone like that with the police. Too bad he ended up dying. Oh, another thing. One time he suddenly introduced his fiancée to me. It was hilarious seeing a big guy like that act like a shy little kid all of a sudden. She told me that she was like me when she was my age and that she was on my side. It must have been a terrible loss for her too. Yeah, I do feel a little bad for her when I think about how sad she must be. And I saw him at the gardens the night he died. Oh no. Whenever I would get worked up over something, Yoshimi always took me straight to that park. Then he'd listen to whatever I was pissed off about. That day, he called me over there like usual. But something seemed off about him. Like he was worried about something? Worried about something? Yeah, he asked me for a favor too. That was pretty unusual. A favor? What kind of a favor? He handed me a weird talisman and asked me to hold onto it for him. Okay, well, that's definitely not a curse stone kind of thing, and this was before the curse stones. A talisman? Yeah, just a normal good luck charm. I figured that's it, then sure, I'll take it. I have it with me now. Mio, do you know what it is? But that wasn't all. Then he told me that he wanted me to look for a talisman Michio Shiriashi had that looked like this one. Huh? Michio? What does she have to do with this? Yoshimi had been meeting up and talking with her. While they were together, he noticed that she had, like, a special talisman or something. But apparently Michio always avoided the subject. A talisman that Michio had. He knew that I knew her, so that's why he asked me, he said. Could there have been something that Michio couldn't tell even the police about? I know things at home were a little complicated. From what I heard, Michio was keeping her mouth shut about what Jonichi was doing to her. Hard to talk with the cops when someone's got dirt on you. And I didn't squeal on anything about Michio either. Michio, what is it that had such a strong grip on you? A ghoul, probably. So basically, Yoshimi didn't just have his eye on Michio, but her talisman too. But after she died, he didn't know where it ended up. So since I knew her from school, he wanted me to look into it for him. Wait, what? I have a question, which I might have mixed up, like, the timeline of things. But apparently Michio always avoided the subject, right? He knew that I knew her, so that's why he asked me. He said, look for a talisman Michio had that looked like... just look for one that Michio had. Because I was going to say, Michio committed suicide like a week ago, and this conversation supposedly happened like 2 days ago. Right? So it's just a matter of trying to find out where her talisman is. I just wanted to double check that. He wanted me to look into it for him. Is there something special about the two talismans? I wonder why he gave it to you. Hell if I know. When I looked inside it, there's just a weird kind of grimy scrap of wood. So you've seen inside it? But from the way he was acting, it seemed important to him somehow. But to be honest, what he was asking is such a pain in the ass, I figured he had to be serious about it. Oh, and since he died right after that... Yeah, he even said to me, I'm probably gonna die right after this. If anything happens to me, take those two talismans. Give them to a guy named Nakagoshi at the police department. Knowing what I know now, he probably felt that something was gonna happen to him. Nakagoshi? Do you know him, Mio? No, I've just heard the name, I think. So there really is a Nakagoshi. That's a relief at least. Anyway, it didn't feel right just ignoring a dead guy's last request. Tomi. Do I know a Nakagoshi? Stop hitting that button. I was gonna say, unless if, like, Richter's not his name. When they talked about the paranormal force, who's, like, the one that's in charge of all that? Yeah, okay, this is exactly what it was. The person in charge of paranormal affairs. Gotcha. That's what I thought, but wanted to just double check that any of the other people that I know are police didn't happen to have that name that I forgot about, but I was confident. Not confident, but obviously not confident because I had to look it up to double check. Yeah. That talisman, would you mind if I had a look at it? Sorry, but I don't trust you all that much yet. Mio's got psychic powers. She could probably, like, pinpoint something. She might be able to even find the other talisman. Come on, Hitomi. It's important to me. Oh, okay. That's stupid. Hitomi, come on. Like, obviously don't give it to Mio, but, like, let her look at it, because she'll be like, oh, this spirit, I sense it. It has all of the answers we could have possibly wanted. So last night, you were looking for the talisman Michio had? Yeah. And I figured that piece of garbage teacher would know the most about Michio. Oh. Asked him yesterday afternoon if he knew anything about her talisman. He gave me some cryptic response like, I can't talk about it now, come to the school tonight. He even gave me the code to the lock on the back entrance. He seemed pretty willing to give it out, so I wouldn't be surprised if he'd used it for secret meetings before. Yuck. I can only imagine. Yuck is a weird thing to say regarding the situation. Like, icky. What a icky situation all around, and not completely fucked up. We climbed over the front gate to get in. So yeah, we met up in the classroom in the middle of the night. But nothing he said made any sense. Like that I was really Michio and stuff like that. Like he thought that you were possessed by Michio. I mean, he went on and on about how it was my fault and that if only I hadn't been around or something. He grabbed a hold of me, breathing heavily. Eep! Icky! Were you okay? Yeah, that's right when you two showed up. I was able to get away while Junichi was freaking out. That also, if we're going into the possession thing, Yako's response to seeing Jonichi was out of pocket. Especially since she didn't seem to know anything much about him, but it was like, I won't let him get away with this again. So, I'm just saying, all the evidence is pointing. Oh my gosh, good thing you got away. So it's really all thanks to you two that I got away. Yeah, maybe you should, like, thank us by letting us look at that charm. But I didn't get any info about the talisman, so the whole thing was sort of a bust. Afterward, I was wondering what you two were up to, so I hid nearby. Then I saw you and old man Ashimiya talking, and then Mio showed up. Mio showed up? Oh, you did? That's also why I saw Junichi come back outside and bite it. I see. So you were only here to look for Michio's talisman. I guess Mio showed up as in she left the school at that point. And that's all I know. Happy? I still gotta look for the talisman. Sure, thank you, Hitomi. Oh, if you two find out anything about Michio's talisman, you know what would help us find out more about Michio's talisman, Hitomi? If you let Mio look at it. We'll be sure to let you know. Thanks. Oh, can we get your contact info? Where can we normally find you? Right, I'm not home most of the time. Usually I'm at a friend's place. Here's the phone number. What a wacky screen transition that just happened there. Thanks, we'll call her if we need to talk with you. You're the friend's phone number. I'm sorry. The screen transition just really screwed me up. And what is it? You're easier to talk to than I imagined. I was kind of scared at first, but not anymore. Shut up. You were the one avoiding me. Anyway, catch you later, and don't die out there, okay? Mio's kind of staring off into space right now. Thanks, we'll be careful. I am mad that we didn't push the talisman thing further. Alright then. We got a lot of new information. Sounds like Mr. Junichi was killed by a curse, just as we thought. Which means there was a curse bearer at the school. Multiple, in fact. Multiple? You think so? Yes, the curse echo we experienced in the school and the one that killed Mr. Junichi seemed to be different. The people in the school at the time other than us were Mr. Junichi, Hitomi, there was a comma there. Hitomi and old man Ashimiya, who you ran into. I was thinking it would be among them, but there was one more person. Hitomi saw a girl in the school uniform with braids. Also, the other teacher, Yako, saw them going to the school. From what Hitomi was saying, it doesn't seem like she's one. Mr. Junichi is pretty suspicious, though. If he was a curse bearer, it would certainly explain why he was killed. Right, that's why I say there are multiple. Oh right, the person who killed Mr. Junichi would have to be one too. Which means it must be either the mysterious girl or old man Ashimiya? Yeah, we should certainly be careful of them. That said, The mysterious girl and the fact that Mr. Junichi thought it was Michio that was attacking him has me wondering. Of course, I doubt Michio herself was actually there, but... Oh, I just remembered. I also saw Mr. Arashi outside the main gate last night. You did? It's likely he's involved with the curses, given that he's the one doing research on the Rite of Resurrection. So we'll have to be careful of Old Man Ashimiya and Mr. Arashi. I want to believe that not all curse bearers will be hostile, but I'm a bit hostile with my curse, so I feel like they are. As for what to do now, I'd like to find who is responsible for the Feast of Shadows that set this off and how they did it. I don't think we'll be able to end this without stopping it at its source. Huh, that makes sense. In which case, next we should do... what exactly? We'll need to talk with Mr. Arashi. Sorry, he definitely knows something. It should be safer during the day, so I think we should try to look for him. Got it. I'll help in any way I can. But the school is closed. I wonder where he could be. Let's try heading someplace someone may know where he is. Where to go then? Oh. Okay. I'm gonna save, actually. This might be that thing I was talking about. Many options and unclear which one would be the correct one. The one thing I would think with him is he is a university teacher. There are university students that hang out at the Ryogoku Bridge that maybe he would be talking to about the curse things. The other thing I'm thinking about too is, can I look around for stickers? See, we're actually progressing through time. And so, Miyokura Zu and Yako Sakazaki decided on their next location to investigate. I'm wondering if this is gonna basically lead to, like, bad end, good end if you choose the right one. Because you can resume from this spot, you could probably choose your location more appropriately. Out of all the random bullshit that I throw around, I'm feeling the Michio possessing Yako theory. I am, like, strongly for that. I feel like I'm gonna lock that in heavily. That and Yoko being the daughter, but that also seems a little more obvious. It's, weird kind of what they decided not to talk about, which again, like, Yako told Mio about what her curse can do. It sounds like that's what that curse is, unless if I got that information wrong. The, fatal fall, one who hears its music for 30 seconds. That, like, everything about what happened adds up, but we'll see. I'm glad Victor's alive. Who was the other person that was dead? Wasn't anyone we knew, was it? It said it was a woman. I think it wouldn't have been I don't think there's, like, anywhere I could find the information properly without going back the chapter. It was Yako all along. I still almost feel like he's a red herring, because it's like, when we got the bad end, the storyteller did say, like, you shouldn't trust everyone. That doesn't necessarily mean that he did it, so much as, like, it just led to a chain of events that got Mio killed. But maybe that's me just coping. Like, in that case, it just seems like it's too, he's been nowhere forever. Would a beautician be in charge of, Matsue Yamamori? Guess not. We got so many people. I wish these, I'm so bad with names. I wish they had, like, a little picture of them. Who was I even trying to look for at this point? I got, like... I think I was looking for Ayami, and I don't think that was the name that was brought up. And like I said, it was like an office worker or something. Whatever. I'm all over the goddamn place here. Let's see what's going on over here.